Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to start and people will jump in. We're going to do our official intros, but I am so glad to see you. There's so many cool people that I know and so many cool people that I want to know more. So we are accessible. We want you to know that. Just to put up front, so you know, there's a lot of information today in this workshop. I bet you a lot of you have done these before, but what the heck is a word circle puzzle or a circle puzzle? There's actually two kinds. There's a word circle puzzle and a picture word circle puzzle, and the icon word circle puzzles fit in the picture word circle puzzles. But let's look at one. When you go dive in for the first time, you're going to see something that looks like this. These are word circle puzzles. And on your slides, there's going to be one in the top center that's locked in. I'm clicking on it, you see my arrow. I'm clicking on it, nothing's happened. If I click on the word up, you'll see that the box is highlighted. So you're gonna work from this word right here. You're gonna work from this card and move these cards around to connect each word together. So I'm gonna do word, I'm liking, since we're in word circles, I'm gonna put word circle together. That's one pair. Now I'm gonna take the word circle and find something that matches with circle. Remember, it's not a sentence. We're connecting every two words together. Now, here's a little hint. This is the thing that frustrated people the most yesterday is clicking on these word cards. Make sure you click on the sides. If you can see the crosshairs, that's perfect. But click between any two blue boxes, and then you're clicking and holding, and then you're moving. Ooh, see, I already messed it up. I need to go back. Ooh, look at that. There we go. Click and hold. Click and hold, moving things around. If you get a little frustrated with just pause, take a breath. And I'm gonna go circle. Ooh, it could be up. Ooh, it could be puzzle. Oh shoot, there's two. I'm gonna use a help card, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna move it over here, and then I'm gonna go down to the answer. Now these have screens on them, and the idea is if I want to use a help card to go outside of my group to get information, you need to use a help card. Now I know word circle, I know that word right there, so I don't have to uncover that. I'm going to click on this one because this is the one I want to know. I'm going to click on it, and I'm just going to hit delete. You could also just move, since I know what this one is, you can also move the screens out of the way. So puzzle. So then I'm going to go back to the slide up above. So I'm going to pick puzzle. And then the idea now is to work every two words, right? And then puzzle, what would go after puzzle? We find out, ooh, it's a little tricky. This one's kind of puzzle over something. I puzzle over, I think about it.
There's a few people using the chat box. If you want to guess, you totally can while Chris is playing. So.
All right, over. Anybody want to? Michelle will spit it out. What's the
overboard? Several people say overboard.
We like that one. What do we think is next? Remember, these are the ones we have.
Big consensus for board game.
Like game. Nice.
Game show.
Board game. Oh, lots of good. No.
What do we want?
Game show.
Game show.
Show up.
Circle up.
Show up.
Uproot.
Uproot. Root word. That is a word circle puzzle. Now you're going to get some more information about how to do some of these actions, but here's a key. Actually more of a learning moment. When you're done and you're like, okay, I've never heard of that before, then you can go ahead and you're free to look things up and learn new combinations. But during the solving of the puzzle, you have to use a help card to access something outside of your group, right? So keep in mind, I noted before that there's going to be a lot of information thrown at you. We're going to be going rapid fire. We want you to experience the 4 different kinds of puzzles. All right, let's go to the tech action talk. Before you go in and meet your team, you're going to find out what's going to be required or what the only things you need to be doing. And then you're going to decide as a team how you're going to interact together. So one of the first things you're going to do is scrolling. So on the left, if I'm on a Mac, so I have a mouse pad, and however you scroll down through something, scrolling on the left to access your slides. Now keep in mind, here's a little learning point as well. Don't go by the numbers on my slides. You're going to have your participant slides are different numbers. We'll tell you which number slide to go to when we before we put you into breakout rooms. Okay, so don't watch my numbers when we're on here. And next thing is going to be moving stuff. We already had a little practice of watching how to move stuff. Icons and pictures are pretty easy. Just grab in the middle, right in here, and hold down, however you're going to hold down your mouse, and then you got to move it around. Move your mouse around, or your finger moves around on a trackpad. Just grab a picture or icon. Now, the words are they're a little tricky. So if you click in the middle, you're not going to be able to move it. All of a sudden, you highlight something. Now, stop right where you are. When something weird happens and it's not moving, stop whatever you're doing. Go up to the top left, and there's a counter anti-clockwise arrow. Click on that, and it kind of undoes what you just did. Grab words at the side. You see the little crosshairs, but grab them at the side. Click and hold down. And I hold down twice. I can get a dictionary on my mousetrap. And then you can move words around. Same thing now with help cards. Just grab them in the middle, move them around, but word cards on the edges. Very, very important. All right, deleting screens. If you want to use a help card to check out an answer, answers look like this, especially for the words, the picture word circle puzzles. Here's an image I want to know what the word is. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to click delete. There's the word. I've used a help card to do that. I can also move if I have room to move. You just click on it and hold, and then slide it over, and then you can reveal an answer or something behind the screen. All right, and then typing in a text box. You're going to have an opportunity to work with one or two text boxes in the debriefing slides. So you'll see some of the debriefing slides and some of the options you can use. Just click in the middle, and you'll see the blue box. And then what you want to do is just click somewhere and then start typing to find out where the cursor is. And then you can add things. Woo, you can add things to your typing box, okay? If for some reason you click, I'm over here on the names, you click and there's no box. If you know how to do this, or if you're new to this, up to the top next to the little arrow, there's a T with a text box. If I click on that, I can drag out a text box if you know how to do that. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, you can, and nobody in your group does this, call us in and we can help out if for some reason there's no text box in there. Undo stuff is the best way to be able to undo whatever you think is a oops. If it's doing something you're not doing, stop what you're doing and then go undo. It's up in the left, right next to the plus sign, there's a little anti-clockwise arrow. And if I'm here, if I need to maybe expand on purpose a picture to see what it is, because I don't know what it is, then you can just go back and undo back to the size. Same thing here. If I all of a sudden, this happened a lot yesterday, all of a sudden my word title was like this, stop what you're doing. Whoever did that, go up to the arrow, undo, and you're back. Let's say you wanted to use a help card. You put it, oh, no, we don't need it. Just go ahead and click it back. All right. So these are the only things you really need to do or learn. Maybe someone in your group is willing to help you. Scrolling, moving things, deleting screens, typing or undoing. All right. So help each other learn some of this stuff as we go. You'll have time to do that. We're going to open up the break rooms now. You'll have 3 to 4 people in your room. If you have 3, you might end up with some other teammates joining later. If people join the workshop a little later, we'll add those to the workshop. But here's how it goes if this is your first time. The idea is to when you see this box, first thing you want to do, when we open up the rooms, you'll see this box. First thing you want to do is write a note on a piece of paper right in front of you, the number of your breakout room. If you get booted out of Zoom and you need to come back in, go to the link you used to get into the workshop. Then let us know if Michelle's there, both of us might be there, what room number you're in. She'll get you into your breakout room and rejoin your group. Then all of a sudden you're going to click join and you're off into your breakout room. Okay? So again, you'll see this. If you need to stay back and ask a question, just to be clarified on something before you go in, just stay back. We'll answer your questions and then you can join your room as long as you have this box ready. Note your number, then you can join. Welcome back, everybody.
It's cool.
How are we doing? Everybody, Michelle, you tell me.
Everybody should be back in now. Yep.
Should be back. Nice. We just did a thumbs up on newbies and circle puzzles. This is great. I love it. We have one more thing to discuss before we go, and then you're going to be playing for hopefully around an hour. That's the idea. Okay. We're going to do help cards. So help cards, the idea of help cards, these are the green things at the bottom. We talked about them a little bit. And if your resources are within your group, those are your main resources. If you go outside of the knowledge of your group and get help, you need to use a help card, okay? And you do that by just moving from bottom right to the left. And the help card you can use to delete a screen, we saw that. Use your phone or computer to look up something. This right here, this Wordbook app, this is the app that I use to build circle puzzles. So I verify 95% of the puzzles with this app. If there's a free version and then an extended blow-up version. But if you have that, that's a way to access or use the search on your phone. And then you can ask a facilitator. In your breakout room, if you click this button, that will call me in. I'll come into your breakout room and answer a question that you have, okay? I won't give you the answer to the puzzle, but I'll answer that question. Okay? That's a way to ask a facilitator. Help cards roll over, so you can save ones from one puzzle to the next puzzles. Someone, the note taker in your group, you do a square and keep a tally of what you have left over so you can use them later. When you're ready to check your answer of a puzzle, then make sure everybody agrees to check an answer. As you're checking the answer, if you run into a word that is not part of your answer, you can use a help card, transfer a help card or check off a help card because you just learned something new outside of your group, all right? Then go back to your puzzle. So for example, we're at this puzzle, this is our answer, right? We already used a help card before. We're going to the answer, we go left, and then we go off. And there we go. Then we go here. It's going to be, oh, it's the wrong answer. Well, I'm going to go back to the card. I'm going to put a help card up here, change my answer to ear. So then it's endear. Ooh, that's a tough one. Endear, ear lap, lap in, and then inlet. All right, then so that way you can use a help card during as you're finding out the answer. If you come up with a wrong part of your answer, you can use a help card to get out. Once you access your slide deck, go to the first slide, do what it says on the first slide. Looks like this. You're going to put in your team name, people on your team in there, and then you're going to eventually go to this slide to start your adventures. Okay? A lot of information, but remember, someone in your group should have that information link that's in the chat box. If nobody does when you go in somebody come back out, get the link, open up the window for your group. All right, it's time to go play. I'm going to start visiting people as well. After about 3 minutes, I'll visit people in their breakout rooms and see how it's going.
Welcome.
Hi, team. What's up?
I can see my shared screen, but I can't, I don't know if anybody else can.
Yeah. Mary, do you want me to try sharing mine?
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But
So Mary, did you click on the information page link?
yes.
So you can see that, but you have to click on share screen button down in the bottom middle for other people to see it.
Okay, so let's see.
You can see the information, but you got to
Okay.
click on that button for them to see it.
Okay, so let's see. Did that work?
Ooh, here it comes.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go.
You
Oh,
yes. Okay,
And then
that's,
just go ahead and just grab a corner and expand it so people can see,
okay.
or if whatever your full screen mode is. And
Does
then
that work for you guys? Was that okay?
pretty small. Can you do expand? How about view full screen?
Okay, let's try that.
There's a little view.
Here we
There
go.
you go.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's
Are we
a
good?
Well, all right then. So,
Are you guys good?
Yep, we're good.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm typing, so I'm asking them.
Well, Chris joined us, so we can
Okay.
ask him.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, friends. How are you?
Great. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing well. Just coming in, checking out things. Do you need me for anything? Do you have any questions?
We're done with the first one.
Hi, Diana.
Hi.
So now what? Are you going to stop?
That's our question. Do we keep going or?
Keep going. Keep playing. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Test out your skills as you grow and learn. One of the things that I didn't mention right away, and I'll share later, you see that there's the title on the top of the slide, 8-word circle, 1WCD. The 1WCD means word combination distractors. So the higher the number, the harder the puzzle. So there's actually one other combination of words in here that works, but is not part of the puzzle. So that could throw you off a little bit. So if that number gets higher, you're going to have more chances of incorrect pairings. Okay?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Call me back. Call me back if you need me.
Neil.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
How
We're
we
doing our
doing?
grand reveal.
Oh, nice. Okay,
We're
all right.
singing it from
I'm
right.
going
Okay.
to stay.
Nail file.
Five. Good.
File
File
drawer.
drawer.
All right. Draw
Drawer
pull.
Pull
Pull up.
up. Off white.
Right. Up
We
to
did it.
Good job. Good job. And on number 4 already. Excellent. Excellent. Just checking in. Need anything? We're probably going to be here for about 1 more minute, and then we're going to come back. Everybody
Okay.
good?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll see you back in the big room. All right. Hi, friends. I'm going to send you, I hope we're doing okay. Remember, if you're getting social emotional learning, we can do a lot of great social emotional learning work with circle puzzles because we get this stuff happening inside. We can talk about that. Self-awareness, social awareness, right? Self-management. How are we going to be able to deal with stuff that's new and frustrating, and we want to get our basic needs met. We're going to get you back into your breakout rooms. You are going to be going to slide 23 for a debriefing slide. One slide, read the directions. There's a text box available. Type in your reactions just to see one example of a way you can debrief for an outcome. And we'll talk about more as we go, but we'll give you some other visuals of debrief possibilities. But let's at least play with this one. All right, so Michelle's going to send you back. You're going to slide 23 on your deck, okay?
Do you want to show it to him real quick, Chris? Show him what,
Oh, yeah, it's going to look like this, okay? Without the go to slide 20, well, it's question marks it looks like, but you're going to slide 23. So that's what you're after in whoever's sharing or whoever's doing the slides. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit.
All right.
Welcome back, welcome back. Hopefully you got a good idea, an example of one kind of debriefing slide. Is everybody back?
Nope. 8 seconds.
Cool. Ooh, 8 seconds. Push them out. All right. Those of you just
First one.
joined us.
Here
Those
they
of you
come.
just joined us. You good? You're coming back and forth. We're going to go play. You're going to get a little longer time with your team for those new people. That was an experience of one kind of debrief, just a nice, easy one to get started to see where you are. Here's one of my favorites about help. You could create slides or use this slide to talk about any concept that you're working on that's related to their experience. You would just consider the kinds of help, have a little discussion, click on the text box, and then create some notes. That way you can, as a facilitator, you can see what the kinds of things they're talking about. Just access their slides, look what they're doing, and you can find out what's going on. You are now going to be going to another kind of what we call a specialty puzzle, and it's called the invisible link puzzles. All right? You're going to go to your first puzzle. It's going to be IL1. And these blue cards, you'll be able to connect these blue cards in what we call a line, right? And then this mystery card, you've got to figure out the word that connects the two ends of the line together to complete a word circle puzzle, okay? Remember, the blue lines will all connect together. Then you got to figure out how to attach them. This is a good one for virtual scavenger hunts. You have people working on something like this, and then they have to put that word into the successful answer box. And if it doesn't move you forward, then you got the wrong answers. Then you got to go back and you got to rework it. So this is a cool one for kind of double duty. You are going to be, hi friends,
Hey, Chris.
just checking in.
Also
Yeah.
try house music.
We got no time for you, Chris.
Oh, sorry.
No.
He left. That's hilarious.
Fly on the wall.
No, Chris. I'm
That's
just joking.
funny. Okay, sailboat, boathouse, house,
House mother.
House mother.
house mother,
Mother country.
Mother country.
country music,
Wood.
Uh-huh.
Music video.
Yeah.
Video what?
video, wind. Maybe that's the. maybe
Wood,
that's-
no, wind sail.
yeah. Wind sail. Woodwind.
Woodwind.
Woodworm. Woodworm. So no.
Wormwood. Oh wait, wormwood. That's
Yeah,
something.
wormwood.
Video worm. Okay, so probably there's something.
What's wood? What's wormwood?
Wormwood is like a it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Okay, because we have something called.
Here's some information.
Okay.
It's a
Okay, go
it's a
ahead.
plant. Wormwood is a plant.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Wind sail, sailboat. Okay. I'm pretty sure what we're missing is between
Is-
video and worm.
What is woodwind?
Woodwind is a type of instrument like a saxophone or a clarinet.
Or an oboe.
Ah, okay.
Flute. Okay.
If we-
Video glowworm.
Glowworm.
Video. Oh.
Glow. Video.
Damn it.
Inchworm. Video inchworm.
Silkworm.
Video silkworm. I wonder what the help card looks like on this.
Let's give it a go. We love help. Remember?
Let's do it. We got so many.
Yeah, okay. So we go to this one.
Now, if you open that answer, then you're answering it. So you can,
Yeah.
right? Or you might choose to reveal something else to make sure you're on the right track, or right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
so
think
you
we open one on either, like on either one of the sides of that.
Yeah. You could also ask me, hey, could you give us a hint? I have a great hint.
Chris,
Hey,
could you give us a hint?
yeah, we would love a hint.
Go back to your slide, your puzzle.
Okay.
When you think video, think old school technology.
Player.
Player
Close.
cassette.
Is player
What do you-
worm, is that such a
cassette?
thing?
What do you-
Cassette, cassette worm.
What do you put in a player?
Tape, tape.
Oh, there it is.
That's a good one.
Tapeworm. Okay.
There we go.
As you're coming in, I don't play these long enough to find multiple answers, but every once in a while a group will find another answer, and then you got to work that in and figure out how that goes. We're going to talk about multiple answers here in this next section is important. So Michelle, let me know when people are in.
Yeah, we're all back.
Awesome. Let me give you just a quick peek at another debriefing slide. Here's another option. All of these slides that I created for debriefing will be in your presenter pack kind of at the bottom as a reference. So the idea here is they'll reorder these into a way that they think is important at this moment in time to them. Like what's the most for them at this point in time? Leadership played a big role. And then they create, they talk a little bit. If you add a little text box, and then they type in whatever they think will be appropriate for them at that point. So that's another example. Again, you'll have these kind of debriefing slides at the end of your deck when you get those. You are now going to be heading to slide number 62. So make a note, slide 62, going to missing word puzzles, missing word. Now the idea, this is the first slide. These are tough, okay? For the way I present it, there is only one right answer. Now you might find other answers, but it won't turn the machine on, so to speak. You have to basically find the right answer. So you may have to use your help cards in a strategic way to be able to determine how to find that right answer, okay? I got some pushback yesterday about, well, there's multiple answers. Yes, there are for some things, but sometimes there are right answers. So these words in this section, the ones you see, those create one circle puzzle. You can make one circle puzzle out of those and complete it. Then you got to figure out a word that will fit between two of the other words and make a new word circle puzzle. You're only going to take this mystery word, put it in between two words, and it creates another puzzle. Okay? There's only one right answer. So when you go to the answer, you say, this is the answer, and you go, as soon as you unveil it, you're either going to be right or you're going to be wrong. So you use your help in a way that would determine, hopefully, more success than less, right? So you're going to slide 62. If you need help, ask for help. I'll come in and we'll see you at missing word circle puzzles. Good luck.
All right, have fun. Hit that join button or that breakout room icon in your navigation bar, and we'll see you back here in a little bit. Have fun.
Hey, I jumped in because Joy, you had a question about how you all look at your screen or at the slides.
Yeah, I'm the only one that can control moving the slides, and I feel like it would be nice if other people could manipulate them as well.
Okay, so here's how it works. So basically, everybody has to open the slide deck for themselves on their computer. Okay, so which means is you would just come back out of the room, get the link in the chat box for the information page, and then you click on that bottom link like you did and you go to your breakout room link. That gets you to the slide deck. And then when more people are looking at that same slide deck, number 6 breakout room, then you're going to see little heads pop up in the slide, and then you'll see different colors around the word circles. right?
So let me ask you, these three things up here, anonymous penguin, anonymous ferret, and anonymous frog, does that mean
Yes.
other people are in here?
If they open the slide deck, then yes, but I don't see, if they click on a slide, that color will, if they click on, see right there, there's one person.
Me.
So if they click on and move, then they're moving stuff.
All right, so Marlene, you can move. So who, okay, so who is anonymous penguin? Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
It's all right. See, now this is kind of the fun game people play where you're going to go to, yeah, there you go. Then you got to find out who's who, which is kind of fun. And then you can determine who that is.
But then when I click it, it moves, right? I just clicked it and it boots me off to some other slide. So I'm afraid to touch anything because we're sharing my screen.
We can see your screen, and if anybody moves it on their slide deck, it will move on your screen as well.
That's fine. So who's anonymous frog? Anonymous frog is idle.
Okay.
Someone is slacking. Who's anonymous frog?
And maybe Carol is on a device where she can't talk right now. Maybe Terry.
No, no, I haven't clicked on the link yet.
Okay. So maybe Terry is out there who's looking at her slides.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pick an icon, if that's what you're asking. Those three, if any of those three are me, I'm not aware of it.
Hey, Terry, click
Yes?
on the question marks. If you have your slides open, click on the question marks.
Okay, I'm missing. Where is the question mark? See?
Do you have the slides open, Terry?
Yeah, the puzzle, current puzzle, yes.
Yeah, right in the middle, the red card.
Oh,
the middle with the question. Click on that and see if we highlight with green.
Hey, I did click on it.
You want me to click on it?
Yeah.
You showed up as the ferret, Marlene. Yeah.
Marlene, yeah, see now you're there. So Terry, are you might be looking at just the shared screen. So you can't do anything with just the shared screen. If you clicked on the link, your window with your slides is probably behind your Zoom link. So your Zoom window, you have a Zoom window, and then you have a window with your slides. It might be behind the Zoom window. So yeah, if there's another person on there, then their slides are hiding somewhere. So keep playing, have some fun. And then we'll come to tutorials. We'll figure out the tech later, but you should be able to still manipulate with a couple people and then know who's on there. Hi, everyone.
Right,
Everybody's back. Okay, everybody take a nice deep breath, team breath. Relax a little bit. Okay. This one often causes the most pushback for me. And I had a revelation this morning, and I was thinking about this because I got people saying there's more than one right answer. Yeah, and the things that are happening today, what about privilege? What about people who believe there is only one right answer? And the other people are saying, no, there's other right answers. And how do we do that? In a classroom, sometimes there are right answers. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, 2 + 2 might be 5 if we work together and we have synergy. Sometimes there's right answers. So this set of puzzles, that's one way that I explore talking about right answers. Could you have, hey, find an answer that works, right? And they could come to you, hey, does this answer work? Of course it does. Plug it in there. That's great. What else did you find? What else did you find? Find some more. Tap it out to see how many you can do. So there are other ways to use the puzzle, but the right answer one often causes a lot of discussion. So keep that in mind. Here is another quick, if you do an SEL, here is an SEL kind of a screen. Let me share that. There you go. If you're familiar with the CASEL sections or qualifications of SEL, you could see how we doing, how we feeling about this. Did anything come up for you? Were you self-aware? Were you socially aware? Were you aware of the needs of everybody else? Did you push back against the person in charge or whatever it is? So that's one of the slides that you can do. So after taking a deep breath, we're going to go now into picture word circle puzzles. We already played one of these. So we did one of those. Yours is going to look like this. Okay, that's your first one. I want you to play around picture word circle puzzles. You're going to be going with your team to slide 78. We're going to spend 10 minutes here and then spend 20 minutes Q&A. I think you'd rather play more than talk. So slide 78 is going to be this slide, and there may or may not be a hint in this preparation slide. So 78, and then go to this puzzle. Remember, you can grab an image, move it around. Here is, if you want to get an answer for just the image, here is the complete answer. So you probably saved up some help cards from other puzzles. Hopefully you kept track. We're going to send you in. You're going to go to this slide, slide number 78, and play for about, let's do about 8 minutes with word circle puzzles. Get as far as you can, or work on another one in there if you want to. If you've already done number 1, go to number 3 and try number 3. All right, adios. Have fun with this one.
Hit that breakout room icon or that join button, and we'll see you back here in about 8 minutes.
So
boom,
move them
right
around.
there. So that gives us these 3 left that we haven't.
Is it banana or peel?
It could be either.
Yeah.
Could even be yellow.
Oh, great.
Or the fact that it's cut.
Uh-huh.
A slice.
Hi, everyone. Just want to check in.
Hey, how you doing?
There.
Hey,
Hi,
hey, there
Chris.
might have been a hint to that one at the beginning of the workshop.
Correct, but is it top or is it guitar because it was at the top?
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank
You got
you.
You got any help cards left?
Oh yeah, lots.
Okay.
This team is awesome.
What's? Oh, I see. You did a little text box. Oh, and you're keeping track. Nice. Okay. Very cool.
All right, so give us a hint. We've used a help card. You're here.
What would you like me to answer for you?
Oh, so many
Do we want
questions.
to ask what this fellow is? What?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
That is the word is up.
Oh.
Oh, interesting.
Really? Oh, that's a bit abstract.
Oh, line up.
Or uphill.
And
Yeah.
uphill. There we go.
Just a little circle puzzle information. Picture puzzles, it's almost impossible to solve without help. Helping is a really big outcome for a lot of these. Being able to and willing to ask for help, give up a resource, get some a little bit of a head on the game kind of a thing. All right. Hi, team.
Chris. Hi, Chris.
How we doing? How we doing?
This team rocks.
Yeah, we're.
Look at
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Good, except for we gotta, I don't know,
Is he pointing up?
Yeah, is it an action or is it just a person? Up,
Boy, I'm here. I can help you.
line up,
line up, uphill.
line up. Yeah, uphill, hilltop, top banana,
Yeah.
Yep.
banana bread,
bread.
breadstick, stick pin, pinwheel,
Wheelbase.
baseline, line up. Should we check?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, that's a different puzzle.
No,
that's the same one.
it's the same.
Oh.
Okay, so there's base, baseline, line up,
Hill.
hilltop.
Good job, team. Good job.
Strike
Hi,
round.
team. Here if you
Guitar
need.
round.
Guitar round.
Go to hell. Hey, Chris.
Did I come at the wrong time?
Like there's a right time?
That's like saying there's a right answer.
Yeah, exactly. Do you need any help from me before I leave, or are you doing okay? Probably got about 2 more minutes.
I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, I think we're doing okay.
All right.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well. Do you need any help from me? You want to ask me anything?
I don't know. We are a strong group.
Yeah, you have a very diverse group, and I'm guessing American English is not your first language.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They are doing everything for me.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no. Actually, he's doing better than us.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what do you got so far? What are you thinking?
So we got a mountain road and most probably banana bread and a stick man, assuming.
Stick man. Okay. All right. Do you want to verify? Do you have any leftover help cards?
Yes, we do.
Yes. Do you want to verify anything with me, or you can of course check the names of these images in the next slide? You could do a help card and reveal the name, or you can ask me something before I go.
Is that guitar man or stick man?
Oh, this image, the person pointing up?
Yes. Is it a man in the first place?
It does nothing to do with the man. It has everything to do what he's doing.
Oh.
Spin.
Okay. It's with what he's doing. All right. So it's about pointing out to something? Is it out pointing?
In which direction is he pointing?
Up.
Hey, try that. Try that as a little discovery. See what happens. Okay, we're going to have about 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. I got you while you were all thinking deeply.
Yeah.
Is there anything I can help you with while I'm here?
Yeah, what's that thing?
Be a little more specific. The one that's highlighted? Is that what you want to know?
That guy. I'm fine using our help card for that.
Yeah, I mean.
So go to the next slide and get rid of the screen.
Yeah.
Go to the next slide, get rid of the screen.
Forward.
All
right.
Nice. You're doing great. We're going to do probably just another minute and a half. You got that. Questions. We got 10 minutes and I will stay longer. I know Michelle's got a trip planned, so she may boot, but she's going to give me back host.
Hey, man, I can hang out for a little bit. I'll hang out for a little bit.
And then we'll stay after 10 minutes, but if you want to stick around and do Q&A, we are here to answer whatever we can if possible. And thank you. If you got to go, thank you so much for joining the adventure. My India friends, I love you so much. I'll see you soon. And we'll talk soon. We're going to get on India video Zooms soon. I want to get and be a guest somewhere. So you guys got to do that for me. All right. We'll see you. Take care. Hope this was useful. Give me some feedback. Send me an email.
Yeah.
There's
a couple questions that are populating in the chat box. So, so have you tried doing circle puzzles on Microsoft Teams? You can, but it's a lot harder to manage. Like Microsoft Teams doesn't have the breakout room functions like Zoom does. Zoom seems to have cornered the market on the breakout room area. I know Google is working on their own version of Zoom, which will be, I think they're calling it Google Meets or Meetup or something like that. Anyway, so that I think is coming. But right now, Zoom, I've tried several of the other platforms and it doesn't seem to have the breakout room function to make it work. Now, if you had just 4 people in their own Microsoft Teams meeting, and then they could be, sharing a screen, and then they could all be in the Google slide deck at the same time, that would still work. But it's not like you could have 20 people join one meeting and then send them out. That you'd have to have them join a second meeting, and so it's a lot more complicated. Zoom seems to be the best platform for this, but hopefully we'll have other options soon.
And another way to play is if you are in a meeting together in another platform, you could verbally assign, they have to keep track of their words. You could verbally assign words to them, and then they could talk amongst themselves. If you can't use Google Slides, or if you're limited, you could just give them, don't give them in order, but just give out the words, and then people have to keep track themselves and how they manipulate them, and then somebody eventually will say the answer and whether it's correct or not. So there's some way to do it. And if they send them off in other kinds of meetings, they're working on their own puzzle and then coming back to the main meeting somehow. But different ways to use puzzles, the word circle puzzles.
All right.
What else? Any other questions? And yeah, put them in the chat box, and Michelle.
There's another question around someone, Jenny says she understands the word circle puzzles really well, but she thinks she could improve when it comes to facilitating them. Are there any additional resources you would recommend to check out with help of the facilitation? I would recommend you joining Chris next week in one of his office hours, and then I think he'd be able to really help you with this one. But any response to that right away, Chris?
If you're thinking about how to present the puzzles in different ways, is that the question? Or so facilitating in different ways the puzzles?
I feel like a lot of times when I do them, they're just an activity, but I would like to make them more of like a team builder. And I know you are excellent at that. And so I'm just trying to see of how I could make it a more meaningful activity. Maybe better at debriefing is maybe the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I feel like they just do it. And then I don't feel like I get to as much of the questions or anything that you were really good at when you did it with.
Yeah, there's another question in the chat box right now that is kind of relates to that too. So Chris, I bet you can answer both of them at one time. But Sarah Jeet says, can you please share a little bit more on debriefing with the SEL lens for both the word and the pictures? And so that might be where maybe if you like choose one of your sessions next week that might be really targeted towards the debrief, that might help also.
Yeah, and for me, remember, all of these things are tools that we use. Circle puzzles are a tool. It's a mindset of going in, you want to work on something. So let's say SEL, and you front load and say, you know, we've been working around social awareness. When I was in India, we did a whole day on SEL. You tell them up front, social awareness, be aware of the people around you. How does that feel? What does that look like? What are you observing? And then we're going to play this game, and then you can bring up a slide at the end and say, look at this slide, social awareness. Maybe it would just say, what were you aware in your social surroundings? And then you get them to discuss that social awareness piece of SEL. So when you're calling it team building, it tends to be what you do, what we do as educators before and after. Something happens in between that stuff, and they are team building, but if you leave it at that, have they done any team building? You know, they've done, what do we call that, Michelle? Group bonding, right? They've just kind of gotten together. Is it team building?
Yeah.
We don't know. They didn't talk about anything. They didn't express their learnings on how they want to keep doing something or change something. So pick something that you intend to talk about after the experience. That's all you have to do. It's not about asking necessarily the right questions. It's framing it. And when you frame it around something specific, then the questions are easy. Then just ask them, what was your social awareness like? What was your point? So it makes those things easier. That's one way to approach that, make it more team building than just fun. We have to kind of guide them into thinking about other things other than the activity. Does that help?
So Chris, there's a question then about, would it be possible to create additional word circle puzzles targeted towards a certain group or a topic to kind of further facilitate that discussion or concept? And 100% yes, if your topic area has words that go together, like word and circle, you know, like, but if you've got two things that go well together, then like problem solving, Maybe if you're working on a group around problem solving puzzle, like something like that. So you can kind of try to create a word circle puzzle that slips in those good keywords, and then you could use them in the debriefing, like Chris had on those debriefing slides. How is it, walk them through the what, so what, now what happened right here, why is it important, how do even some of these words relate back to the real world and our team, and how we can use this to help us do better at our jobs or anything like that.
Yeah. There was a gentleman on a call, Tim was on later, where I helped him think about some scavenger hunt word circle puzzles related to Jackson Hole. So Jackson Hole was the start of one, and then you have to figure out hole something, and then we tried to put in a couple more that were related to some of his topics that they were talking about Jackson Hole. So it's possible, not always easy to do because some words have less connections than others. There is kind of a super secret tool that I have that maybe if you show up next week, I can share the super secret tool that helps me create word circle puzzles, but it's going to cost you. You got to show up. All right. So maybe that's a tip. And then if you need it, Zoom me later and we'll talk about, if you are interested in creating word circle puzzles, let's do another Zoom later and I'll show you how I do it. It's not time to do it for this.
Here's a question. What do you suggest in terms of time to reserve for word circle?
Oh my God.
I mean, we've been at it for almost 2 hours now and we scratched the surface. You know what, something we talked about in yesterday's session is, if you notice, probably some of the earlier word circle puzzles were a little bit easier. And then you keep building and then they get harder and then they get harder and then they get harder. And so it could be that maybe in the first time you introduce them to a group, you use a couple of the easy ones, build that skill, build that muscle up a little bit, right? And then the next time, throw something harder at them. And then the next time you meet, throw another harder one at them. So you're really building that skill, and that's kind of what we do when we're teaching anything, right? Is that you introduce it in small chunks first, and then you keep building it up and up and up to where they get really skilled at it later. And then they really they want more challenge and whatnot. So it can be a way to really move it from just team building into team development, where you're really developing that skill.
And for me, time-wise, think about the 4 different kinds of puzzles. Word circles, then there was missing link, missing word, and picture. You probably never would want to do all those in order like we did. You'll drive people crazy. You want to use these slides in different parts of a program or different kinds of a program, okay? You might leave, okay, we're going to spend the next 15 minutes, get through as many word circle puzzles as you can. That becomes their experience that you talk about. How did you help each other? How did you recognize social behaviors? Was there leadership? Whatever topic you want to talk about, you can pull out of that 15-minute experience. They may end in the middle of a puzzle and they're frustrated. They wanted to finish that. Well, what does it feel like when you don't finish your work and it's the end of the day? What are your choices? What happens? So decide how you want to play. Open-ended is great. Let's do this word circle puzzle until someone is finished, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Or we're going to start with a few word circle puzzles to get the idea, and now we're going to go right to the missing link word circle puzzles and jump to something different and talk about change. Okay, well, what happens when change occurs? What if we started with word circle puzzles and jump right to picture word circle puzzles? Michelle's talking about progression. How does that affect them when we got skills and abilities, we're just learning, and now we're thrown into a project that we have this is driving us crazy. This is too hard. How do they react to that? So use the slide decks, use the puzzles differently, mix them up, mash them up, but relate them to your purpose, related to your outcome. What's going to happen? You felt you had some feelings during this experience. That's going to be the same thing for your participants. So time-wise, don't play these too long because then nobody's going to want to come back. That's another way to think about it. And we've been here for 2 hours. If you have to bolt, that's great. Thank you so much for being here. We'll stay. I will stay as long as you want. My morning's open. So stay, ask more questions if you have them. And I think throwing them in the chat will be where Michelle's going to throw them out there if she sees them.
Let's see here. I think you've answered those. Still some questions about when you're out. So you're going to be putting your hours that you're going to be available next week to do any of these sessions in the asset package. So
yeah.
So look for links. When you get an email from Chris, he's going to have all the information in it to be able, and it basically it's just going to be an open Zoom room. He's going to have office hours on live in Zoom, so you can just pop in and ask him questions whenever you want.
Yeah, we can play some more. I'll probably be able to have a couple of breakout rooms if people want to just go back and play, and I'll come and we'll mix and mingle. Yeah, so we're just going to kind of see who shows up and see what we need. And again,
and if no one shows up, you get Chris Cavert all to yourself. So there's you know, I get to do that pretty often, but not everybody does.
Yeah, and she regrets it every time. What else? Anything else? Thanks, everybody. People are waving. I'm assuming you're waving goodbye. We'll talk to you soon. Send me feedback if you got time. I think we got to play a lot faster than yesterday, and a lot more than yesterday, which is fun. Cool. Any other questions you have? Thank you so much.
Vivek here.
Vivek, how are you?
I'm doing well. A request, a lot of words and combinations we answered today are not regularly used in Indian context.
Correct.
So while I know I heard Michelle saying, I can create my own, I'm game for it. As you guided us to that package software, which you used to check the word combo, and now that you're going to come often to India, you may want to check a software and the commonly used words in India. So that will be great help.
Yeah, wonderful.
So the deck, the deck which you're going to share with us, if you have couple of puzzles there wherein commonly used words in Asia are included, rather than me creating something. I think that's
wonderful. Okay. Yeah, and there's, like we said, I think we said before, or maybe yesterday, I haven't seen any other language uses for this because they just don't go like American English. And then English has different combinations. So see what works and try them out. And to me, it's also another learning outcome of, you don't know this. And how are you going to find out? What do you do? So what are your resources? What can you get? How can you access the help that you need? That's what I love about these puzzles is, so who knows in this group who's left, who knows what a Buster Bar is? Anybody know what a Buster Bar is? So you don't, it's a Dairy Queen, it's an ice cream treat. So it's regional, even in the States. Yeah, you don't know that. Is it fair? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not fair, but it's what I know. And why don't you know it? Then we were talking about privilege. If I know the answer and you don't, does that make me any better? Or how do we help each other find the answer? So again, outcomes. It's not about making.
I can process around that,
Yeah, to me, it's not about making things necessarily easy. Maybe at first, I had to change the first puzzle because my pilot group got mad at me because it was so hard. So at first,
You're
maybe
welcome, everybody, because I was in that pilot group because it was hard.
Yeah. So at first, maybe make it easy. Sure, of course. And then, okay, it gets hard. Now what? Now what do we do? What are the choices we're making? Right?
Great. Sounds good. I think I like what Michelle says, start with the easy one and upgrade to the difficult one.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.